Are we live? Hello everybody. Well, I'll just wait a bit, see if anybody connects. And right now I'm streaming from the van, live for the first time ever. In Sadie, we're in Alice Springs at the moment. So, yeah, I've never done this before, so it's sort of a bit of a beta test. Not too sure what I'm doing. But let's just see if we get a couple people connected, and if you guys want to ask me any questions. Thought it might be a good time to do a Q&A or something like that, unannounced. G'day mate, NM, yo, missing van life, hello from Cali. Thanks for the message, bro. Appreciate that. Well, we do have a couple of viewers, right? 11 people. Hey SB Green, PhD. How you going? William King, hey Jaz. Hope you're all well, mate. What have you been doing for work on the road? Cheers. What have I been doing for work? Well, I haven't been working, to be honest. Laurie and I are just travelling right now, living off savings. So currently we're not working. I am an electrician by trade, if you guys don't know that by now. Haven't worked in a bit actually since this coronavirus pandemic. So yeah, we've been on the road just maybe roughly 5 weeks now. We came from Sunshine Coast, and yeah, so 5 weeks we've been on the road. We're not working. We don't plan to work soon, but you know, things can change. It's good to have a break every now and then, and I think COVID has sort of been like a reset button in a way, so that's been good. Hello Kapal Sangha from India. How you going, mate? Thanks for tuning in. What did you guys have any questions at all? Anything that you've thought that you ever wanted to ask me, or ask anything about the van or traveling? Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Just chilling here at the moment. Daily budget. We honestly, we really have not been thinking too much about a daily budget right now. Obviously we're pretty new into this road trip, but yeah, I don't know. Daily budget, I mean, within reason, you know. The biggest expense with traveling in a van is food and fuel. When you're traveling from long distances, especially in Australia, it's easy. You spend quite a lot on fuel, but when you're in one location, you're not driving around too much, so you don't spend as much on fuel, but you'll always spend relatively the same on food. And sometimes it can change if you want to eat out or if you want to cook. So daily budget, haven't really been thinking about that too much at the moment. I looked out as a software developer, worked from home for 20 years. Business picked up for me during COVID. Yeah, it's crazy. I've talked to quite a few mates and a lot of people, and they say that during COVID they've never been busier. Where you speak to other people and they're completely out of work. So yeah, it's really weird how some people have never been busier, or they've gone completely under. So it's a bit weird times. SB Green, watched your videos. DIY build-outs. Thanks for watching my videos. Curious about van life and how COVID restrictions impact lifestyle. Good question. Every country obviously is different in how it's impacted and how each government is regulating it. Here in Australia, we've had a second wave of COVID, especially down in Victoria, down the south of Australia. They're completely on lockdown, like code 4 lockdowns, which means no one can really go in and go out of that state unless it's essential services. New South Wales is not too far behind, but not as bad as Victoria. Western Australia is completely closed and has been closed for quite a while, which I'm pretty bummed about because we really want to go to WA, but that's completely locked out at the moment unless you're essential like worker to go over and work there. But Northern Territory, South Australia and Queensland, I'm not too sure in Tasmania, but those 3 states are all open at the moment, provided you haven't been to a COVID hotspot in the last 14 days, I believe. So we're free to travel between those borders, and that's we're currently in the Northern Territory. And we're actually looking to go to South Australia next because Northern Territory is just about to have a crazy wet season up north. So we might end up heading south to South Australia where the weather is going to be much better and the borders are open. Hi Jaz, congrats for the van. How satisfied are you with the lithium battery pack and solar system? Good question, thank you Tomas. I love it. I love the lithium. I think it's worth it in the long run, spending a bit more money up front, but having the longevity of your battery. It can go to a depth of discharge of 80%. That's only ever happened to me a handful of times. I could count on one hand, maybe 3 or 4 times. So it's very rare that happens. Depends on your budget as well. Like if you're building a van or you need a lithium battery pack, depends on your budget. It's pricey, but I think in the long run it's cheaper. But yeah, I'm definitely satisfied with it. And the 580 watt solar on the roof, I love it. I mean, most of the time we're charging from that, but if you're driving around, in this van you can charge from the alternator as well. That definitely helps. So between the two of them, I'm never going to run the battery out, unless sometimes I've run it out like in the morning where we're running so many loads and the charging from the inverter. We haven't had rain much. I haven't been driving, and the battery's gotten heaps low, and it just cuts out automatically to protect the battery. That's happened 1 or 2 or 3 times, but I just start the engine if I need to, if I don't have the sun, and it will just charge it. And yeah, that's like a redundancy backup. So in short, I love it. And I relied on the gym for showers and stores for the toilet. I hear they are closed everywhere. Actually no, we've met friends in Alice Springs who are doing the same. They have gym memberships with Anytime Fitness and a bunch of others. And they were in the gym yesterday showering. It's a double whammy for them because they like to work out and actually use the gym, but obviously they can shower and use the toilets in there as well. So no, I believe that most of them are still open. Maybe some of them have been affected. I'm not too sure because I never use them. We don't really need to, but I do know people that are using them currently in Australia and they're still open. So yeah, I recently upgraded laptop and specifically chose laptop that uses less than 25 watts to cut solar install costs. Batteries are expensive. Yeah, I mean, again, working on your own budgets is important. Everybody has a different budget and something that they want to do specifically that suits their needs. Yeah, of course, cut your loads, cut how much power you use. That's probably the smartest thing to do. Get the most efficient things possible. Absolutely. I personally wanted to have more than enough in terms of solar. Solar is cheaper than batteries, so solar is much cheaper than storage nowadays. Batteries are definitely coming down, and I predict that within 5 years, batteries are going to be very affordable, even lithium ones and things like that. So it won't be so crazy. But yeah, always I would recommend getting more solar to begin with, and then batteries are really just to store the sun or the energy. So yeah, but it's more expensive to buy a battery, especially lithium. AGM deep cycle batteries are cheaper, but they can't handle as high loads and current inputting and charging, and also taking out of the battery, discharging, compared to lithium, and they don't last as long, but they are much cheaper up front. So it's just a balance. Did your shower... G'day Damien Jones. Did your shower design work out well? No leaks. Absolutely. I love the shower / toilet. It's a toilet shower. But yeah, we haven't had any leaks. The only problem I have ever had in the shower to date is when I was originally doing the van build. I did siliconing in the shower, and that same day that I siliconed it, I must have been cutting out outside of the van timber or something. So there was fine dust, wood particles, and for some reason I left the bathroom door open, and some of those wood particles got into the silicone. So when it dried, over like a year or more, it started to get a bit manky. So what I did not long ago, actually, when I was going to sell it, but I actually didn't, the van, I cut out those little bits of silicone and redid them, and to date they're perfect. So pro tip, when you're doing any silicone work, make sure that you don't get any dirt or dust or any particles in it, because you'll end up having to redo it. If I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have had any problems. So, but to date, the shower is definitely my favorite asset in this van. I think it's makes living the van life a lot easier. I love going to the gym, lost weight. Good on you, man. Hi, hello. Can you open music for me? Open Anna Blue every time the rain comes down song. Right. Not too sure what you mean. Open the music. I'm new to live streaming, so I don't even know how to play music doing this. G'day Dan Burris. Hey bro. I've been building a van over COVID and probably responsible for 90% of your hits. Thanks for the detailed write-ups. Saved me a lot of mistakes. No worries, Dan. I appreciate it, man. Watch it as much as you want. A lot of people, I guess, have tuned into the van build series. I never would have expected it blew up like that, but yeah, I've had a lot of positive feedback from it, and yeah, I really appreciate everybody, like, tuning in. I actually love answering like questions when people email me and they're like, oh, thanks for the van build, loved it, and then they ask me a question, and yeah, I don't know, it feels really good to help people. And I'm not an expert or anything, but I guess I've done a van build, so I know more than maybe the average person, but yeah, it's definitely good to help people. I like that. Thanks, mate. Damien Jones. Dutchy, do you feel the van was a money-losing exercise, or would you profit from it? Depends. Well, I think if you're talking about assets, say having an actual house, that's an asset to me in my mind. A vehicle, in my mind, isn't really an asset. It depreciates and goes down in value as time goes on. You've got to maintain them, you've got to fix them, you've got to spend money on them. So, which you do on a house as well, but you can't. It's kind of a bit harder to rent a van out, which you can, but we're not planning to do that. So I don't know. I think all in all, maybe I've broken even. I've definitely had to fix up a fair few things on the van. Actually, something that I haven't told you guys about is when I was working on a solar farm last year, and I was coming back to Brisbane from New South Wales, and I broke down and had like major trouble, engine problems and stuff. So I ended up getting it towed back to Brisbane and had to like replace the engine with a second-hand engine. So I think that was pretty costly. Plus I replaced a bunch of other things too that made sense while you're changing engine over. You just replace little parts here and there for longevity. So that was pretty expensive, but yeah, I don't know. I'm glad I did it in the long run, and to be able to live this lifestyle and do what we're doing now, yeah, I'd definitely do that again, even though it was costly. But it's just money, comes and goes. But yeah, I don't know. Is it profitable? Maybe, maybe not. I'm breaking even, maybe. I'm not too sure. SB Green again. Need advice on electrical, solar versus generator. Oh man, I'd go solar every time. It's clean. It's like you don't pay for fuel when you're burning fuel, so it's quiet. It's stealth. You don't really think about it. You don't have to get it out. You don't have to worry about fumes. There's so many pros to solar over a generator. Yeah, I would go with solar every time, provided you can fit enough on your roof, which you should be able to, combined with battery storage and charging from your alternator, which I also do recommend if you're going to live in the van life full time. Between those, you should be fine. So yeah, I would definitely go with solar. Generator, no, I wouldn't do it in this day and age with the technology we have. Also, laptop chargers on USB-C cable, meaning I don't need an energy wasting. That's true, actually. I actually have a new MacBook Pro. I bought it this year, and you can plug it into a USB-C to USB-C. So, yeah. What were you after, Laura?
Earphones, please.
Earphones.
Thanks, love.
Okay. Yeah, USB-C to USB-C. I tried it. Actually, my output's a USB-A, and then input in the Mac is USB-C. So, USB-A is not as efficient and can't carry as much power. But I did try charging my Mac, and it does give it some power, but it can't charge it up. It doesn't have enough juice in the output. So I'm actually thinking about getting USB-C, 12-volt USB-C outlets. I've seen you can get ones that have a USB-C and also a USB-A twin output. I've just got twin USB-As on this van, so maybe upgrade, and maybe if it's USB-C, maybe I can just plug that straight into the 12-volt and not have to use an inverter. So definitely I want to do that. Cheers, Dan Boris. I'll definitely donate. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much. That's very generous. Greetings from Finland. I love your van. Thank you, Marcus McCunnan. Finland. Nice. What's the weather like over there? Right now we are in Alice Springs, so map of Australia behind me. Basically dead center. That's where we are in Alice Springs. So 2 days ago it was 40 degrees Celsius. Dry, not really too humid, but just very dry, very hot. And today it's a top of 13 degrees in the day, and it's rainy, so it's like jumped nearly 30 degrees, and it's quite cold actually right now. It's really weird. Damien Jones, more questions. Did attaching the solar panels with Sikaflex last? Did you end up using any fasteners too? Good question. I bet you a lot of people have thought about this one, Damien. Yes, I haven't had any problems with the Sikaflex 221 that I use to mount all the solar panels to the roof. I've checked them not too long ago because I actually had to do a little bit of Sikaflexing on the back Max Air fan. There was a very slight leak like 2 months ago, so I redid a bit of that, but that was Sikaflex Pro, not Sikaflex 221, which is what I used to mount the solar panels with. I haven't had any issues, and recently we just passed the most corrugated road, 150 kilometers that we've ever put the van through, and they're still on fine. Sikaflex 221 does say that it does have a lot of flex and stuff in it, so room for vibrations and movement like that. So, oh, what's happening? It's ending. Oh no, we're still here, still live. Sorry if the connection's a bit shaky. But no, I haven't had any problems with the Sikaflex, and no, I didn't use any extra fasteners to fasten the solar panels to the roof. So, in short, no, I haven't had problems. Just make sure that when you do it, you have a layer of Sikaflex. It's not just squished flat when you push it the angle on. You need a bit of like buffer room between the van roof and the bottom of the solar panel angle. So anyway, I think my stream is getting pretty shaky. I'm not too sure what's going on. I hope you guys can still hear me. I'm streaming off my mobile, hotspotting, so hopefully this is still going good. I have 500 watts of energy solar on my roof. Happy so far. That's a fair amount. I've pretty much got the same. I got 580, so I reckon that's a good amount of solar. XRP DT. Cost of a decent van here in California has skyrocketed. It is no longer a cheap endeavour for people to try van life. I recommend a van as part prepping. From NM again. Right. And is the cost of a van skyrocketed due to COVID? Is that why? Because I know that in Australia when COVID first started happening, the demand for caravans and RVs and all that was skyrocketed as well. So I guess when there's a demand, the price goes up. So maybe that's happened here as well. I'm not sure. Or is it just really trendy over in California? SB Green again. How much watts amps needed for solar power to cargo area for TV and small appliances? TVs don't use that much power. Small appliances, well, what are we talking? The things that draw the most that I use in appliances in the van that run from 240 from the inverter are definitely the toaster, the heater element behind the camera, anything that's a heating element like a toaster, a heater, a sandwich press, anything like that will draw a lot of power from your battery. It's just a rule of thumb. But how many watts and amps? I don't really know if without seeing. I know that, well, my battery's 12 volt and when I run things through the inverter, that's 240 volt here in Australia. When I run something, say a 600 watt toaster, which is 240 volt, it will draw like a lot of current on the DC side. It's 22 times roughly the amount of current compared to the AC to the DC. So AC won't be drawing very many amps. It might be a couple of amps, but on the DC side, times that by 22, and it might be near 100 amps that you're pulling if you're running a toaster or something, or a little bit 80 amps or something. So it's a fair amount. Havil and H1, loved your van build vids. Thank you very much. Agree. And I paid $6,000 for 2006 Sprinter in December, and now I see the same tear with more mileage for twice the price what I paid. Wow. So prices over there are really going up. Heading out. Thanks for your time. No worries, NM. Thank you very much. Damien Jones, thank you. Difference between starter and deep cycle battery. A starter battery's, from my knowledge, is supposed to handle a lot of current for a short period of time. So the only time you ever really use your starter battery is when you're cranking your key, your ignition, you turn it on, it draws a lot of current to get that engine turning over. And once your engine's turning over, your alternator's spinning from the belts, and now it's no longer running from your battery. Your alternator is running all your loads in your car. But a deep cycle battery is designed to run a fair amount of current, or at least, as much as what it's supposed to do, for a long period of time. So that's the difference between starter and deep cycle. I bought a ladder rack and used Unistrut and struts, nuts, 90s, and crosses, etc. Nice. Housing costs. Cool. Thanks, JC. Love the channel, mate. Hope you start a new van project soon. JC from the Gold Coast. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. New van, I would love to have a 4-wheel drive. Thinking like all the places that you could visit on the beaches and like all those outdoor tracks that you can't really get to on the van, or you're just pushing it too much in this van. I'd love to have a lot of clearance from the bottom of the van, and also have 4-wheel drive. Maybe one day. I've thought about that recently. Would I ever do another van build? It'd be more probably like a truck build, I'd like to take it to the next level if I did another one. There's so much work in it, but that would be pretty awesome. Nate Hughes, thank you for tuning in. Hey mate, I'm currently building out my own sprinter in Victoria. Just doing the plumbing now and realising it costs more than I first thought. Your video has been a great reference though. Thanks bro. Yeah man, I swear that's everything in a build. It's just like, yeah, you think it's going to cost something and then it costs way more. I mean, unless you're using all like recycled materials or things like that, or you're doing it on a really cheap budget, it generally does cost more fittings and everything. Yeah, it's crazy. What are you using, Nate? Are you using JG, John Guest fittings, or are you using other types of plumbing, pipes and bends and all that? Because I use JG and yeah, it adds up pretty quick. Thank you SB Green, appreciate it. Do a sprinter four-wheel drive conversion. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, I don't have any money for it right now, but maybe in the future. You know what would be my ultimate, like, in the future thing to do? Would have, like, when battery technology really starts to take off, having an electric truck. One that just runs off electricity. That could be, you know, somehow plugged into the grid. Once the grid we have more grid chargers in Australia. That'd be sick, which is the way of the future, and I think all cars will eventually go electric, obviously. But we're not there yet, but maybe in 5 or 10 years, it'll be pretty normal. I won't have to burn this diesel. XRDT, the strut allowed flexibility for mounting panels and didn't have to drill roof except for wires going inside. Yep, that's good. Wow, I'm really glad that you guys are tuning in. This is first live stream. It's pretty interesting. From the van. We are planning, so I don't know if you're just tuning in now, but Laurie and I, we're in like Central Australia right now. It's the south part of Northern Territory, and we were planning to go to Darwin, but now we're thinking it might make more sense to head south because Darwin has a torrential wet season and it's incredibly hot and incredibly humid. So, as opposed to South Australia where it's nice and dry, and you know it's going to be summer there soon, so it'll be a beautiful time for the beaches there. As opposed to Darwin, which is beautiful, but Darwin is much better in the dry season where it doesn't rain every 10 seconds and the temperature's not too bad. So yes, what else do we have? Just need a wrecked Tesla to take the chassis. Yep, and the batteries. That's it. Yeah, I was going to go with John Guest, but ended up going with Shark Bite Fittings. I think I've heard of them, but I've never used them. Been really struggling to get things online or in store at the moment. Yeah, I know. It's so hard to get anything, and like shipping's taken forever. Getting anything from overseas is like just takes so long, especially America right now. I had a package come from America, and it was leaving California in Los Angeles, and it was there for like 4 weeks just sitting there. So this COVID is really putting stress on the system of postage. G'day Scav, g'day from Brazil. Hey mate, how you going? Thanks for tuning in. We'll be hitting the road early next year, mate. We'll hopefully see you on the road. That'd be good, mate. It's always good to run into someone that's familiar with the channel and the van. I've definitely run into a fair few people, just even in Alice Springs here, which is a really small town. We've run into multiple people that are just like, g'day, oh yeah, I've seen your videos, and you're just like, wow, that's crazy. Even in little campsites, they're like, oh yeah, I've seen your van, and you're like, look where we are, like no one's around. It's just really, it's quite bizarre, but it's pretty cool. I can't wait to finish my build, one of a kind design. Took me 6 months on paper to get everything in mid-size sprinter. It even has washer and mini dryer. That's awesome. Sounds like a hectic build. Yeah, a washer and a mini dryer. I did think about that in this van, and well, at least a clothes washing machine. But no, I didn't end up doing it. It didn't seem viable for me. We wash our clothes in just laundromats, or actually we've got to wash it soon, and we washed it at a laundromat the other day or the other week, and it was like so expensive, this one-off one. So we're going to go check out a campground, and they normally have washing machine facilities there, which will probably be like a tenth of the price, so we'll probably do that. David, welcome back to Alice. With this rain, do a trip out to John Hayes Rockhole. Will be awesome. Thanks, man. Where's that? John Hayes Rockhole. Have you heard of that, Laurie?
How do you spell it?
John Hayes. John, like John Hayes, Hayes, Rockhole. I haven't heard of that one. But
Northern Territory.
Hey?
Oh, it's not too far away. It's only an hour.
Only an
That's
hour
so
from
close.
Alice, apparently.
We'll have to hit it before we leave.
Yeah.
Save that.
Oh, what else? What else can I show you guys? Yeah.
Can I get on the bed?
Come on. We're sitting in the bed right now. Streaming from our bedroom. This is crazy, yeah. We're just streaming on
and our
the
table,
live.
our breakfast table.
On the breakfast table. Why am I here? I don't know, but nice to meet you guys. Thanks, mate. Thanks, Yordi MV. Appreciate you being here. Yeah. Everybody's tuning in. Who we got? 20 viewers right now. That's cool. Well, I didn't know how long I was going to do this stream for. I was just going to sort of see what happens. Scav, living in a van is one of my dreams, and travel across South America. I'm just preparing my future for this since 3 years ago. Wow, you've been planning a long time. Have you started your van build yet, Scav, or are you thinking of doing it pretty soon? And South America, that would be hectic. That would be awesome. East Max near Trafina Gorge. Oh yeah, East McDonald's, right. We've done West McDonald's recently. So East ones, yeah, we haven't head over East McDonald's yet, so have to give that a go. Are you travellers at the moment? Are you travellers, M? Do you mean are we travelling at the moment? Yes, we are. Yordi. I can't express how important it is to plan. I've been in construction for 40 years, and this van build is the hardest thing I've ever designed and built. Every inch matters tenfold, it seems. I definitely agree with you. I've been in construction pretty much all my career as an electrician, and it's just a different beast. It's a different world building it in a van. I mean, if you did it every day, it probably wouldn't seem very hard, but when you do it for the first time, especially coming from construction or renovating, where you renovate a house with square walls, everything's square, it doesn't matter how much weight you have and all that stuff, and room isn't really as important. Coming into a van, every last thing counts, and things aren't square generally, so it's definitely harder, and weight matters. People actually have thought this van's been like pretty overweight, and I've weighed it when it's fully after the build, and when it's had water and everything in it in the tanks, and it's about roughly 3.5 to 3.9 ton. I weighed it again recently, it came back 3.9, so it still has anywhere from a ton, 600 to a ton left of weight that I can add to this if I wanted to, but obviously I'm done the build, so I'm not going to add anything else. So I think a lot of people thought this van was overweight because this one is not a single rear dual wheel. It's a double. It's not a single rear wheel. It's a double rear dual wheel. So you can have an extra ton, and a lot of people have the single version. So they probably thought, oh wow, how do you fit all that weight? So that's how. Nice map, bro. Thanks, man. It's actually, we love it. We like draw a line of everywhere we've been along the roads and everything, so it's really cool to look at it and see where you've been and where you're going to go. It's awesome. So you like humans. I love humans. Scav, no, not yet. Just growing my Forex account right now. Right, Forex. I've never day traded or done it. I don't know if you're day trading. You must if you're in Forex, but I'm in the stock market, but I'm not relying on that for my main income. But that's cool, Forex. And I guess that's good to travel with because you can do that at any time of the day as long as you've got internet access. How's the plumbing holding up? Plumbing's good. Let's think, have I had any problems other than the pump? So the 12-volt pump underneath the fan is the only thing that I've had problems with in the plumbing. Everything else is solid, sturdy, hasn't missed a beat. And also the tank back in the day, the water tank. 110 litre water tank when we were in Cairns. I was filling it up, and back then I had those like straps, and bang, it like burst the strap. So I've been meaning to like update that plumbing video with another video and show people like what I've updated it with. I did it on like my website and maybe Instagram, but I haven't done it on YouTube. So I used what did I use? Booker rod and Unistrut and big ass massive metal tapping screws, a shitload of them, and thick angle brackets to mount the 110 water tank in place. So it hasn't missed a beat yet. That's really secure. I wouldn't go with the metal straps, if I did it again. And the 12-volt pump, man, I don't know what to go with that thing is. It's like I'm on my second or third pump now. I think it's my third. And recently as well, another one failed. You might have seen it in a recent vlog, but I don't know if it's vibrations it doesn't like or what the go is, but the pump works fine. It's just the pressure switch. So because I've overridden the pressure switch with the 12 volts and the pump runs, but when I bypass the switch, so I don't know what the go is with these switches. They're either not very well made. That's the Shoreflow brand. Could be vibration. I just don't know, but I will let you know when I do know. So that's DJ Davis. What is the map of you behind you? It's Australia. I don't know if you can see it well. That's Australia. That's our country. That's my home country. That's where we are right now. Who's next? Gold Tab Zero. Yeah, the cabinet is so box kinda hot. Yeah. Don't know what. Yeah, right. The cabinetry? You mean like it's boxy? Yeah, I guess it is a bit boxy. The stream appears if you search episode 1. Does it? Hi Jazz, is this your first live feed? Doing well? Great videos, thanks. G'day Tony, it is. I really don't know what I'm doing too well right now with this live stream, but I'm giving it a go. Where are most of you guys from? Anyway, just go off in the comments and just say where your home country is or where you are right now. I'm keen to know where you guys are from and watching from. Oh, now I know what YouTube recommend this to me. I also want to have a full travel life. I want to take a Toyota Hilux and build a camper. Sorry, bad English. I'm from Costa Rica. That was good English, man. Don't worry about it. Toyota Hilux. That's a very common van build, I guess, in Australia. That's for sure. A lot of people have Toyota Hiluxes. My mates have had them. So yeah, no, they're a good van, especially for Australia because it's a very common vehicle, Toyotas, and it's very easy to fix them and cheap to fix them if you have any problems with them. Scab, I'm on Forex because stock market in Brazil just shit. Yeah, the stock market's all over the place. I think mine is going to be overweight. Lol. I'm a wireman subtech. Electrician too. For the IBEW. Nice. Wireman subtech. That's good. Sparky's in the house. DJ Davis, you talk slow. How tired are you or what time is it for you? California. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm pretty chilled right now. It's raining, and I don't know. I'm not in a rush to do anything. It is 2:53 in the centre of Australia, in Alice Springs. That's where we are. So 2:53 in the afternoon. So DJ Davis, California, Nevada, Alice Springs. David's in Alice Springs.
Oh, David. Hey, David.
Oh, what's up, man? How you going, man?
Hey, David.
Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're well. How's house life? Central Coast, Victoria. How's Victoria? Is the intent to head into WA? Kimberley, Van can cope with it. Yeah, how is Victoria at the moment? Dutchy, is it still in code 4 lockdown? That's what I heard last time from a mate there. Yeah, also, I don't know if this stream is like slow or not because my internet, but maybe I just talk slow. Maybe it's because I'm Australian. But what was I going to say? Yeah, WA definitely was our major intent. We do want to go over there. Absolutely, we want to see the Kimberley. Nice beanie, by the way, Laurie.
Thanks.
DJ Davey says. We'd love to go over to WA. It's closed. It sucks that it's closed. But yeah, that definitely is our intent in the long run. Right now, we only really have the option of Queensland, Northern Territory, and South Australia. So there's heaps of places to visit there. We've done a fair bit of Queensland, so we'd rather do Northern Territory and South Australia. And hopefully by then, WA is opened, but we're not too sure when that's going to open. Say nothing, bud. Yep, still locked down, not happy. Jan's stuck, here with my van, meant to be here in the Kimberley. Stuck. That sucks, man. Man, I just like the layout of your van. I don't like those back beds, seems claustrophobic. Yeah, you'd be surprised. I mean, people have said that, and honestly, with 2 people, we live in the van.
It's more than enough room for us.
Yeah, there's more than enough room for us, and it's good. I don't know, I like the runway, how you can fold the bed. You can fold it back up to a couch. You can walk.
Hallway.
Yeah, it's a hallway. So, and it's really easy to clean when you do that because you open the back doors. We got a blower, and we just blow all the dirt out, and then it's done. The house is clean. So it takes 10 seconds. But yeah, anyway, having a back bed in like all the time, like permanently, and you can't like get around it. I mean, I don't know. There's pros and cons to both, definitely. Just your personal preference. Claustrophobic though, some people would think that in this van. There's a lot of storage in this van, cabinetry. I haven't seen another van with so much storage, but honestly I don't know. It's full for us. We have a lot of stuff, and I don't know what people bring, but they mustn't bring much when they live in the van. I mean, the whole minimalism thing, but yeah, I don't know. I like to have some things. No lag or audio problems. Oh, that's good. I like that. It's maybe there's like a 10-second delay or something, but that's about it. It's good to hear there's no bad audio problems. Tony, hey Jazzy bought a Merc Sprinter, long wheelbase, was in middle of converting 2 weeks ago. DUI driver smashed into me and total write-off. Oh man, that sucks. Sorry to hear that, Tony. That is what a wanker. Sorry, bro. That actually happened to my mum. She doesn't have a van conversion, but just her car, and it was parked on the street. Like the one time it was parked on the street, out of their house, and a stolen car, like two teenagers stole a car down the street with a trailer on the back, and was going like 80 kilometers an hour up the street, like fishy tailing with this trailer, and missed every car except my mum's and just totally reared it off. So, man, I bet she would empathise with you. Northern Territory, the best part of Oz. Litchfield, beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually from Northern Territory. I'm actually born and raised in Darwin. So yeah, I was 12 when I was born there and moved to Brisbane when I was finished primary school, so 12. So I lived there for 12 years and went back every year to see my mates for the next 5 years. So I haven't been back since I'm 21. So that's about 6 years for me. I'm 27 now. So I'm pretty keen to go back to Darwin. I just remember you. I've been subscribing to your channel since you built the van, and damn bro, you look changes a lot. Amazing van builds skills for you. Thanks bro, thanks Yordi for being subscribed from day dot. Appreciate that. And yeah, I guess probably the hair. I don't know. I definitely in the van build videos I had short hair. That was like, what was that, 2017 and to slash 2018. Now it's 2020, so 2 and a bit years ago. Yeah, my hair's pretty long now. It's tied up. How long have we been going for? We've been going for, there was a clock. Oh yeah, 45 minutes. 45
Solid
minutes.
chat.
Having a good old chat.
Oh, chinwag.
So Yordi, Dutchy, Daily Springs pub too, absolutely. We'll be stopping in there. I'm actually keen to also go to Douglas Daily, which has Douglas Daily Hot Springs, Mataranka, a bunch of gorges. We've got so many places like saved in Google Maps to go. But Gunlom Falls, I've been there and that was sick. But apparently that's closed at the moment, unfortunately. But Daily Springs, yep, and there's so many things up there to do. I'm really excited. Right now it's just very rainy. DJ Davis, you know what, I was searching for a new series to watch, but I'm glad I found this. Thanks, bro. And yeah, just a good old little live stream chat. First one ever. Scav, yeah, you have all the room if you want. Best option you got there. Thanks, bro. Yeah, I mean, Scav, everyone has a different van, a different size, and they also have a different lifestyle and different needs and wants. So it really just depends on what you want, honestly, at the end of the day. You just build what you want, and yeah, I guess you don't really know unless you've looked at a lot of other vans and been in them, or your mates' vans, and you go, oh yeah, I like that option, and then you have that, or you know. But during a lot of this van build, I looked at a couple of other van builds, but not very many, and I just kind of just imagined what I wanted and what I thought I needed, and just did the best for what I reckon. So yeah, I was kind of just making it up as I go, honestly. I did make like plans and stuff. I did write plans and sketches, but yeah, things can change on a whim. Captain Sada, thanks for tuning in. How good is your internet out there? Do you use something like a web boost? Actually, right now I'm hotspotting off my phone to my MacBook Pro. Internet in Alice Springs, it's been pretty good, but it's not the best you're ever going to get compared to maybe big cities. But it definitely does the job. You can watch HD videos on YouTube, no problems at all. Download music, no worries. So I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. I think I'm streaming in 1080p right now. I think so. If I can stream in that, that's pretty good. That's pretty decent. But I wouldn't be able to stream in 4K. Yeah. Have you had any problems with wildlife or other people? Wildlife. Have you had any problems with wildlife? No. Not really, eh? I mean, if you call flies wildlife. Flies can be pretty hectic here, especially when it heats up. They just mob you, and once you're in the van, they're pretty hard to get out. So, no, I wouldn't say we've had any problems with flies. With people, not really. I mean, sometimes in Alice Springs, you know, locals will come up and, you know, like, sometimes it's not too safe to be out, like, late at night in, like, areas that are, like, prone for, you know, like, shenanigans and stuff going on. A lot of people warn you about that here in Alice Springs. We haven't had any problems. We've had a little bit of, like, some people come up to us that seem a bit shady, but you sort of just gauge it. And, I mean, me and our other friend Peter were sitting out one night playing chess at like midnight, having a couple of beers in this car park, and yeah, like a bunch of locals came up, and you know, we're obviously pretty drunk, and they just said hello. They were pretty kind, but they had the vibe of like, I don't know, maybe not the best intentions. They didn't harm us or anything, but I said to Peter. I said, yeah, no, it's probably time to go. So we headed and went somewhere else for the night. So we haven't had any problems. Time for a better build, Tony. Time for planning. Ben Kovacs. Hey Jazz, please explain why your different solar panels go into separate charge controllers and not just into a single charge controller. Good question, Ben Kovacs. So when you're capturing solar, you need a charge controller, obviously. So, and you want your solar panels to all be the same specs. So, aka same voltage or same wattage. Mainly same wattage or voltage. So, if they're different ones and they're all mismatched and you feed them all into the same charge controller, it's just gonna. I don't know how your charge controller is going to react, but it's really going to reduce the efficiency, and it's not going to be able to be the most efficient, and it's not going to be as good as feeding them into separate ones. The only reason, I wouldn't have had to have two charge controllers if I had different panels, different spec panels, but I've got 5 100-watt ones and 4 80-watt ones, and they're different voltages and stuff. So that's the only reason why I couldn't feed them into the same charge controller. That's why I had to feed them into separate ones. So that's the only reason. If my solar panels were all the same specs, I would have just fed them all into the same one. So that's the only reason. It's not good to mismatch different spec solar panels. Where are we up to? Captain Sada. Oh, I meant to ask, what are the dimensions of your shower? I've been looking around and can't find any numbers. Actually, I've had that question quite a lot, so I actually decided to write them. So I don't know if I wrote them in the episode 5 of the van build in season 1 in the comment. I might have done it in the description now. I think I might have updated it. If it's not there, go to my website and go to the blog post, which is episode 5. I'm pretty sure I have it there, definitely. And if it's not there, again on my website in the specifications tab, drop down menu, go there and it should be in there. So it's probably in multiple places. Cheers, bud. Great idea doing a live stream. Cheers, Dutchy. Appreciate it, man. Nate Hughes. Any regrets on your van, mate, besides the water tank brackets? Yeah, that was a regret. But I guess a learning experience. What was I thinking of the other day? No, I mean, I've been pretty pissed off with the pump lately. The pump's just been, it's so annoying when you're using the pump and then it just cuts out for no reason and it stops working and then it comes back in. That's really annoying, but that's not really a regret. If anything, I wouldn't have regrets. I've just added things since doing the van build. So it's not like I've been like, damn, I want to change this completely. I've been like, oh, how can I make this better? And I've added something on, which I am going to do a video soon with just like part of the van build episode. It'll just be like, every little thing, like quickly showing you every last little thing that I've added and changed and updated since you guys have seen the van build season. So that'll be a bit of an insight. But no, I don't really have any regrets. One thing that does come to mind actually is having a bigger fridge would be sick, but I don't know, the next size up fridge from the one I have is like really like at least that much taller. And that just would be ridiculous. Like I wouldn't be able to put that under my bench, and there wouldn't be enough room. So, if I had a bus, I would absolutely have a full size fridge. It just makes it much easier to fit things in. But other than that, nah, I don't really have any regrets, to be honest. What else do we have? What did you use for your roof? What did you use for your roof? What do you mean by that? Do you mean which part of my roof, or in the ceiling roof, right? I'm thinking of like the actual top roof. The roof, like the paneling, you mean? That's pine. That's VJ pine from Bunnings in Australia. It's, I don't know, they come in like pretty low. They can 4.8 meter lengths or something, pretty long, and I don't know, $9 or $10 a length. I can't remember. I've written all the prices in the van build series, but that's what I use for my roof, the paneling, and the walls, part of the walls as well. What else do we have? XRP DT. I bought a nice upright 12-volt refrigerator, made it by Unique. It's 7 cubic feet huge for a van and was only $1,000 at Home Depot. So is that $1,000 American if it's Home Depot? 6 cubic feet actually. So how tall was it? 7 cubic feet. I'm not too sure how to work in feet, cubic feet. I sort of work more in like millimeters and centimeters and yeah, we're the metric system, but I can roughly imagine that. How tall was that fridge? Just out of interest, can you do it in meters or inches or whatever? Hey man, love your channel and content. My girlfriend and I are looking to build a van, and your channel has provided tons of inspiration. Thanks, Matthew Johnson. I appreciate that. Where are you guys building the van, and where are you? What type of van, and whereabouts in the world are you? What food is easy for you to bring while you are traveling? Well, we have a pantry, a pretty sizable pantry, and a decent sized fridge. So I don't know, it's good to like freeze things, like be able to freeze like meats and stuff. We just eat the same diet as what we would in a house, pretty much. Like it's just everything has to be a bit more like Tetris and packaged in a bit better. Like everything's got their place a bit more. So I don't know. We made pastas. What did we have this morning? We had like a big brekkie. So there was, I don't know, if you go on Instagram, if you have my Instagram, you'll be able to see what we had this morning. Travel with Jaz on Instagram. Go to my story and you'll be able to see.
That was really yummy.
Hey?
That was really yummy.
Yeah. So I don't know. We just eat everything that we normally eat. Sometimes we eat out. I mean, depends. Sometimes we eat out we're so lazy and we just want to eat out a bit. And then sometimes we're like, nah, we want to cook more. So it just really depends. But we just bring the normal food, what you would in a house, to be honest. Lowering wattage panels bring down larger wattage unless on different controllers. That's what I was kind of thinking in my head, but I didn't know how to explain it. But yeah, you're right, XRP. The lower one, it basically, if you put two separate spec charge controllers into one, it'll just act as the lower panel that's inputting. So it's basic. It'll bring your bigger panel and just bring it down to the lower panel. So it effectively just wastes a lot of, power input wattage. Yeah, it was a good van, 2011 model. No dings, no rust, paid 23,500, looking at 35,000 today's prices. Wow. That sucks, man. Sorry, Tony. Tony, look for an old Sprinter before 2007. Good to know. I'm just installing my Sherflow as we speak, so hopefully it holds up. Fair enough on the fridge too. I have a Bushman 65 litres, so we'll see how it goes. Cheers, guys. Cool, Nate. Yeah, I mean, look, I think Sherflow, from what I've heard and what I've seen, it's pretty common in shops in Australia, and I think it is a good brand. I would like to know what the issues is that I've had, but I mean, some people think that maybe because it's under the van, it might have more like vibration or an issue, but I don't know. I'm just trying to think of why it would have more vibration underneath the van as opposed to, say, on the other side in the van, because it's still shaking. But I don't know. I don't know why I've had issues with my pump. But I know it's the pump switch, not the actual motor. So that's big, because the motor, if the motor is going, there's something really wrong. But the switch, maybe it's just the little diaphragm inside it. That's what I've thought. No DEF. What else do we have? Will you be decorating the van for the holidays? I already have plans for mine. Mm-hmm. So the Chrissy holidays, I assume that you mean will be coming up in a few months. Decorating. I actually didn't even think about that.
Yeah, did I?
I wouldn't say I'm a massive decorator, but that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. That'd be kind of cool, eh?
I think we might now. Thanks for the tip.
Yeah, put some tinsel up and...
Yeah.
What else?
A mini Christmas
baubles.
tree, like one of the small ones.
Yeah, mini Christmas tree, Santa hat.
Oh,
I don't know.
Sounds nice.
Maybe we will. So 6 cubic feet is 170 litres. Okay, that's pretty sizable. That's pretty decent. Mine is a 130 litre fridge, and yeah, it does the job. So that's a pretty, Yeah, that'd fit pretty well under that bench actually. Maybe, I'm not too sure. What'd you say? Height is 128 centimeters. I don't have a tape measure on me. I can't be bothered to get it, but that might actually fit under my bench because my fridge is that height, but then there's this much sort of gap in between the top of the fridge and the bottom of the bench top. So there actually is a little bit more room for height. There's no more room for width, but I don't know. I already got a fridge and it works good. So, how much longer are you planning on streaming? What made you decide to share your van on YouTube? Do you often stream? What questions do you like to be asked? I have no idea. I just thought I'll give it a go. I've never tried it before. I don't know. See how long it goes. Maybe another 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm not too sure. But what made you decide to share your van build on YouTube? I think I was like, originally before I did the van, like even started kitting my van out, I was like looking at other van builds and I was just thinking like, I just can't. They would always be like quick time lapse, like they would just show, they'd skip so much information and it wouldn't be like the detail that I really wanted to see in a van build or someone instructing. So I thought maybe I could do that and, you know, show people, because I'm a Sparky and I've got sort of I guess some like skills on the tools, so I guess I could show some, like, help people of, you know, what I know. But I don't know why I also wanted to get into YouTube, so for long before the van build, so I guess that's another reason, like an incentive why I did it. It was a hell of a lot of work, but I'm glad I did it. And no, this is the first time I've streamed, so what questions do I like to be asked? I don't know. We can talk about the van. We can talk about travel, anything. I don't really care. Yeah, you can talk about other topics. That's all right. 2006 and older sprinters are known to go 1 million miles if maintained. Yeah, I reckon I would believe that too, especially like diesel ones. Yeah, ever since I had my engine troubles, I've been like, yeah, I really want to like maintain my Sprinter very well. Do an oil change like every 10,000. So I've got an oil change. I think they recommend like on average it's like 15,000 for an oil change kilometers. But I think Mercedes, I don't know how long they actually recommend, but it's something ridiculous like 20 or 30,000. But I'm thinking I'm just going to do 10, spend the extra money on oil and filters, and I don't know, just be safe, because I never want a problem again. The guy who has built my van is a forward drive guy, and he didn't think twice about it going under the van. Thanks, Colleen Doyle, for tuning in. And what was that? What was going under the van? The pump, of course. We were just talking about that. Yeah, right. Yeah, if he's a forward drive guy, I mean, the only reason I could think I would ever have problems with the pump being under the van is if it was on a four-wheel drive and I was like going to be driving in creeks and stuff where obviously you're going underwater. I wouldn't want my pump to be submerged in muddy water. That would fuck it up real quick. So, yeah. But I don't plan to do that in this van, and probably you don't in your van. So, I don't know. Here in the US, I'm starting to decorate for Halloween. Got a skeleton in the passenger seat. Halloween. I didn't even think. So Halloween it's coming up.
Yeah, 31st of October.
Yeah, okay, so that's probably what you meant. Right. Yeah, I haven't even thought about it, to be honest, but that's pretty cool. Halloween. That'd be sick to have like a crazy costume and just deck the van out. I don't know.
Get Sadie a costume.
Yeah, put a smoke machine inside here and like fluoro lights or something. I don't know. India, USA, meaning the Sherflow. Right, yep, got that. Where did you get your shower base from, and have the melamine walls held up okay? I reckon that's probably the top 3 questions I've ever had in this van build. It's about the shower base and the shower walls. All that information is on my website in the episode 5 blog post, but in quick, I got the shower base in Australia, in Brisbane, from a RV shop called Kamek. They specialise in caravans and RVs and all the equipment. They don't know if they sell the base anymore, but that's where I got it from. I know you can get it online, but I have links and stuff on my website, I'm pretty sure. And the melamine walls I got from Bunnings, and they're holding up like no problems at all. Everything, it's really surprising in the shower. Like, you could have a really hot shower, you create a lot of steam, and after we have a shower, we'll sort of use some squidgies if it doesn't drain to properly drain the shower as best we can, and then get out, put the vent fan on that is in the shower, leave the door slightly cracked, suck all the steam out, and then within an hour or so it's dry, like getting pretty dry in there generally, especially the walls. They just dry up really quick. So it's pretty surprising how well it works in there, and I haven't had any leaks or anything. What else have we got? No, in Oz. Right. Dylan is in Oz. G'day, Dylan. Do you get news around the same time as other people? News.
I feel like I'm pretty bad for that.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know, it's not really like, what type of news? Like,
well,
watching
I don't know.
The news kind of like...
I don't know, which news are we talking about? Are we
Yeah.
talking about like mainstream news? Are we talking about
Friends and family news?
yeah. What sort of news are we talking about, DJ Davis? They're expensive, but I found one on eBay that fit behind wheel well for $99. Nice. Thanks, man. I'll check it out. Love your shower. Cheers, bro. Thanks, Tony. The shower, yeah, I'm gonna say the shower. I've said it before, but yeah, it really makes I think personally it makes living in a van full time easier, because you don't have to rush to the toilet. You don't have to rush. You don't have to go without a shower for days. You don't have to leave your van if you don't want to. But I mean, it's nice to get outside. But it's just good to have the option, is what I'm trying to say, to have a toilet and shower. And in Australia, I don't know what it's like in other countries, but in Australia, generally, especially on the coastlines, you have a lot of access to public taps. In Alice Springs, actually, it's probably been one of the most difficult places to find a public tap, which is, I mean, I guess it's pretty dry out here, but they would definitely have water reserves or whatever. But yeah, in Alice Springs, it's been difficult, but we have found a few. But on the coast, they're just abundant. In every park, everywhere, there's just taps that you can plug in and fill your tanks. But we can also obviously shower off the grid, obviously. Well, who else? For Halloween, you should strap a skeleton to the front of your van so it looks like you hit someone. Roadkill. That'd be pretty funny. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I have an electric water heater. Saw stuff about a propane heater. Any thoughts on them? Captain Sutter. I have a propane heater, LPG gas, instantaneous hot water. So I love them. I think they work really well. They heat up really quick. I haven't really had any problems with it, and pretty efficient on gas as well. And what else? I wonder about electric water heaters. So if you have an electric water heater in your van, obviously that's going to be pulling some current. You're obviously going to have to run an inverter to power that, right? Or is it a 12 or 24 or 48 volt one? What one do you have, Captain Sada? And how much battery does that use when you have a shower or do what you do with your electric water heater? What size water tank do you have? Do you have grey water tanks? If so, how big is it? Yep, we got a grey water tank and a fresh water tank. So the fresh water tank, they're both under the van, and the fresh water tank's 110 litres. The grey water tank's 68 litres. The grey water tank also has a drain valve that basically I just leave open all the time, because it's literally just draining like shower water or tap water, which is not dirty in my opinion. So yeah, the 68 litre basically always stays empty, unless for the odd reason we want to be super stealth or something and I lock it off so that it starts to store all the drainage into the grey water tank. But that's like never, basically never. Is 42 gallon fresh water and a 5 gallon grey water tank a good mix? 15 gallon grey water. Gallons, so that's roughly 4 times. Let me get a conversion thing up. 42 gallon. Gallon to litres. So what do you say? 42? 158 litres. 158 litres, that's pretty good. Yeah, if I had the option, I would have more fresh water. And I'm thinking about maybe even possibly doing that down the road, link up 2 tanks, but we get by pretty good as of now. I mean, the more water, the more weight, but you can live off grid for longer times before you have to like plug into a tap, into mains and fill them up. So I don't know, it just gives you a bit more longevity of how long you can travel off the grid. Especially if you're in the middle of nowhere where there's not really access to water. You got to be really like frugal and, you know, not shower too long, or shower not, you know, maybe every second day or third even. And so yeah, I don't know, maybe I'd do another water tank. And what did you say? 15 gallon grey. 15 gallon grey is a little bit smaller than what I have, and I reckon that's heaps enough. Purely because I said that I don't know, mine's never full because we just leave it open, so you don't really need to store too much. I don't know what the rules are like in your country, but it started to rain outside. I bought a 20 gallon electric tank type. Went against what everyone else does. So how did that go? Who was talking? Yeah, Captain Sada, there we go. Jump in my backpack and join me on my travels around the world. I like your about section on YouTube. Thanks. I wrote that ages ago. Captain Sada, it takes me about 30 minutes to get a hot shower. I'm looking to switch over to a propane. It zaps my batteries. Not sure exactly what the pull is on it, but I have a Bosch 4 gallon 15 litre mini heater. Right. So does that mean it mustn't be an instantaneous one then if it takes 30 minutes, right? So does that mean it's a storage water heater where you turn it on and it heats up the elements, and you can't just have a shower straight away with hot water. It takes a while, and then you use what's in the 15 litres, I guess. Yeah, I would imagine it would draw a lot of current and amp hours from your batteries. Do you have AGM or lithium, Captain Sutter? And what size? Colleen, I haven't put a grey water tank in. Do you think I can live without it? Mine is set up to put a bucket under it. Absolutely you can, Colleen. I mean, it all depends. Here in Australia, I know that people don't really care that you're draining grey water onto the road or wherever you are. It's really it's pretty clean water. So it's kind of like rain, I guess, almost, but just a little bit dirtier. Can you live without it? Of course, because we basically leave our tank open all the time. So technically most of the time we don't have a grey water because it's just running straight through the tank and straight out onto the road or onto the ground. So most of the time we live like we have none, but not a grey water tank. But some parks say, if you go there, that you do need a fully self-contained vehicle, which means you need to be able to store your grey water. I know that all like the grey nomads, or those big caravans people have, they generally, when they rock up to a caravan park, they put a hose from their grey water and run it into the provided drain. And that's maybe that's a caravan park rule. It probably is, but no one really cares too much. Do you live in the van full time now? Bubbles, yes we do. We're travelling, we've been in the van. How long's it been? 5 weeks?
Yeah, just about.
5 weeks. Can you hear me, guys? I've turned the second audio on.